fighters are. And they were naming a few individuals. And he said, wait, no. Pound for pound is Canelo. He's still the best. He's still the face. If there was a big bag of money out there that would entice Bud to come out of retirement, let's just say 75 plus to each of you, would you be up for that rematch?
They need a little bit more from me, but
That's a fact. All right, let's start with 100 for you.
Yeah, we can start with that and negotiate, right? But yes, yes, why not? We always, as a fighter, we always want a revenge.
You believe you can beat him?
Yeah, I believe, always believe it in what I can do.
You believe it'd be a different outcome this time?
If you look back, I always do good in my rematch.
In your rematches, for sure.
I always
because you get to adjust.
Yeah,
and correct some of the mistakes.
And I know what is wrong, what I did wrong. So, yeah, if the opportunity is there, it will be amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Bud, you listening?
Same thing, but you know, I have other goals to do in business.
There's always going to be another guy. Does it frustrate you when you've done so much, when it's, the fans will say, what about Benavidez? What about this guy? What about, and you're like, there's always going to be someone.
I always been in that situation.
Yeah.
Always been in that situation, so it's nothing strange for me. No, when it's Coro, Mayweather, they talking about that. Callum Smith, Triple G. Man, a lot of names out there. When I beat them, then the other name come.
Right.
Right now is Benavidez, but he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight fighting in 175 or no, cruiserweight or something. But he's a heavyweight. It's not fair.
What a fight that would have been, maybe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Was it ever close?
When I turn Undisputed,
yeah, if
he will be a champion at that point, that's the correct time to do the fight. But he wasn't, and he was fighting in 168 at that point, but he wasn't a champion. So, but that was, I think, the perfect moment to do it.
Was it ever close or no?
No, never.
No. Did you see his last fight?
No, I didn't see.
He could be maybe the next Mexican star, maybe?
Not Mexican.
Mexican-American?
It's different.
Yeah.
Mexican-American, yeah.
Who could be the next Mexican star? Is there someone that you're seeing right now that could be the guy?
The Mexican-American, I think Ryan have the possibility to.
Right.
The more possibilities to be. He have a lot of charisma, a lot of talent, and I think he's the next Mexican-American. Mexico, we'll see.
Is there anyone right now that you see that?
No, at that level, no, not yet.
Not yet. Is that surprising?
Surprising because
it feels like it's
always is somebody there after the other.
The next one, yeah.
The next one, but
I'm a special kind of fighter. So I never fought, and a guy has been that much better than me. I never been overmatched like that, and I've been in there with the best fighters in the world. So, I felt like something was up, but I didn't want to make any excuses or be that guy. At the end of the day, so I put it in Allah's hands, and I said, you know what, he was a better man. He was a better man that night, and I go back to the drawing board and figure out what's next. But it definitely had me questioning a lot of things, my preparation, my trainers, my team, myself. But that's what a loss will do to you.
Wants to talk all this shit, but his own dad said, hey, you are last on our list. I need to wait for Ryan to mature a little bit. Dude, what? Like, if people don't see how much of a bitch he is, think about this, man. He framed me 100%. Of that shit, bro. His fucking brother, somehow he messed up, said on Instagram, and quote, people could find the video before it even came out. I tested positive for steroids. His brother said, I know he's going to test positive for steroids. I have a feeling God told me. He clearly said shit too soon. This is the biggest fuck up they ever did, and they never want to clarify why the little brother said that. They always ignore that question. They ignore that I tested for 4 months straight before that fight, and then now they're lying after Barrios that I wasn't on VADA testing when I obviously was. Anybody who tests positive is going to get tested, dumbass. And I got tested literally in Vegas before the press conference. And it's like, guys, if you can't see how much they are fucking holding on to that because they can't take the fucking L, your son was almost face down, ass up. Your son shitted on himself.
Softest shit I ever seen in my life. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Like, I ain't never seen nothing so soft, man. This is ridiculous. This is Charmin soft. You know, man, take your butt whooping like a man, dude. Look, just put it this way. I don't condone steroids. You know what I mean? I can't stand it. I can't stand steroid usage at all. However, he was in the fight. He signed on the contract. He got that extra money for that extra weight. You know, he got the 0 back on his record. Like, what else do you want? Dude? Seriously. Now you're going to go sue Ryan Garcia for battery? It's a boxing match, dude, at the end of the day. You still got to keep that right hand at home, bro. You didn't do that. That's the reason why you got your behind whooped. You were in the fight. You fought the wrong game plan. That's it. You got okie doked. Just leave it at that.
I love Ali. I'm an
I don't
Ali
know if
fan.
you love them the way you should love them.
No, we had a conversation. It was Tyson Fury or Ali.
And what you say?
I agree that Ali is better than Tyson Fury.
You didn't say that last night?
No, he is better. I wasn't saying that he was better. I'm saying that if they fought.
You said he was too big. You said Tyson Fury was too big.
He's 6'9".
And?
72?
That's a big target, my brother.
Man, that's hard to deal with.
Are you serious?
Bro? As a fighter, bro. He's 6'3".
Listen. First of all, you watch Tyson Fury fight. You watch Tyson Fury fight.
He couldn't hold it.
Tyson Fury does not have the best footwork around.
I don't think he do either.
You know he don't. Okay, so if you don't have no
Have
footwork,
you seen Ali's?
Ali got the best footwork of any heavyweight ever.
If he don't do nothing else,
how
he
you
do
gonna,
that.
how you gonna even keep up with him?
Man.
You can't keep up with him. You slow. You don't have no power punch to knock nobody out with one punch. How you gonna keep up with Ali? Ali throw combinations like a middleweight. Calm down, Roy. Calm down.
I told you.
Okay, back to y'all. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. I'm calm.
Straight up, though, but that's just
calm down.
And I like Tyson Fury.
He's young. Calm down, Roy.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. You can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Yeah. So I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this today, man. But hey, why not? But yeah, man, let's talk, man. So y'all boy Canelo Alvarez, let's get this over and done with. He went on Good Morning, CBS Good Morning, and did an interview with Nate Burleson, all right? And he was sitting there talking about how he wanted the Crawford rematch, and Nate said, what about 75 million? He was just joking. He said that's not enough to get him, you know, he was saying that's not enough to get him in the ring with Terrence Crawford, but he said he wants to rematch, and that, you know, camp went well. Was just, you know, he don't know what happened. He wasn't mentally there, and you know, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of excuses. Let me let you know how irrelevant Canelo Alvarez is. Canelo Alvarez is so irrelevant. All right, he's so irrelevant that he just did an interview with Ariel Helwani about 2-3 weeks ago. And he talked about Benavidez. You've seen a clip on there, and I shared a little bit of, you know, kind of what he was saying, you know, on some of the talking points that he was saying. I shared it in the community tab a couple posts ago, and you know, it was just a bunch of excuses. It was a bunch of excuses, and for Canelo Alvarez, it's pretty much, man. It's just, you know, typical foreign fighter, to be honest with you. They got a million excuses in the world, while they getting their ass whooped. You know what I mean? And let's go. And he can't stomach the fact that he lost this particular fight. And this is the clip that he had something to say on.
About who the best fighters are, and they were naming a few individuals, and he said, wait, no, pound for pound is Canelo. He's still the best. He's still the face. If there was a big bag of money out there that would entice Bud to come out of retirement, let's just say 75 plus to each of you, would you be up for that rematch?
They need a little bit more from me, but but
That's a fact. All right, let's start with 100 for you.
yeah, we can start with that and negotiate, right? But yes, yes, why not? We always, as a fighter, we always want a revenge.
You believe you can beat him?
Yeah, I always believe it in what I can do.
You believe there'd be a different outcome this time?
If you look back, I always do good in my rematch.
In your rematches, for sure.
I always
because you get to adjust.
Yeah,
and correct some of the mistakes.
And I know what is wrong, what I did wrong. So, yeah, if the opportunity is there, it will be amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Bud, you listening? Bud Crawford.
And like I said, when you listen to what he said, he ain't hungry enough. He's not hungry enough when you hear that, because if there's you should be like, you know what? I'm willing to whip this motherfucker for free. I just want to get my get back. I'm willing to fight this dude for free just to get my dignity. And Canelo ain't fought for dignity or fought for respect in a long time. You see, so 75 million ain't enough. Look here, dude. This shouldn't even be about money. It should be about pride. I let a welterweight jump up 2 weight classes and whoop my ass. Now, do Canelo feel like he need to beg a motherfucker to rematch him, or he needs to make the deal a little bit more, attractive to Terrence Crawford? If you really want the rematch, talk spicy. Make the numbers work. Take a little bit less, like Charlo said. Take a lot less. Talk reckless. He don't really want the rematch. It's just to save face. Canelo ain't had pride in a long time, bro. Canelo ain't fought with pride in a long time, because if it's still a dollar amount tied to this, and it's not about respect, if it's still a dollar amount tied, 75 million not enough. I need hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's the problem. That's the problem. They paying these dudes all this money, and there's no pressure. There's no pressure to fight no more. I got the money, cool. He don't want to rematch, Bud. You don't see the energy. You don't see the tenacity. You don't see the will. You don't really see where he really wants to get in the blender with Bud. He's just saying that to save face. And it's another thing where he don't want to, he gave him credit after the fight, but it's always discredit. Mentally I was not there. I did everything correctly in training camp, but mentally I was not there. I learned that if I'm going to still fight, I need to be mentally, physically. And his fault you wasn't mentally there. It's always an excuse. You know why? Errol Spence got his ass whooped, and why Canelo got his ass whooped. It wasn't he's mentally imposing on dudes. You got a lot to think about. You got a guy that understands the craft of boxing. He understands angles. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy who can punch. You got to respect him. He understands how to drop his weight, how to get leverage against bigger opponents. There's a lot of things that Terrence Crawford makes you mentally. You have to mentally be prepared for. Righty, lefty. Adjustments. He said, well, I know what I always do good in rematches. Look here, homeboy. You had 12 rounds to make the adjustments. You had 12 rounds. Each round you should have been knowing what's going on. But like I said, Canelo ain't hungry no more, bro. It shouldn't even be about the money when a little dude gum up and whoop you like that. It should just be about the principle about you whooping his ass. And the fact is still about, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's still about this amount of money. And also, you don't really have any aggressive nature towards getting that rematch. That should let you know everything you need to know. There's no aggression. There's no aggression there. Why, look at him just talk. He's all laid back. Canelo is irrelevant, bro. He did an interview with Ariel Helwani a couple weeks ago, which I just showed in the clip. He did an interview with Ariel Helwani. Nobody talked about how big of a coward he sounded. Irrelevant. He doesn't. He goes on CBS in morning in America, and nobody in the box community is talking about this interview. Nobody. You got a couple publications that's running this interview. None. You had every advantage in the world. You wouldn't give him a catch weight. Well, then want a rehydration clause. He got to come up to 168 pounds. Fight on your terms. Fighting old Mexico and Las Vegas. Everything. The commission was on your dick. They still tried to rob him. And despite all odds, you still got dusted. What else adjustments can you make that you didn't make in training camp? You know, you bought the great Jerron Boots in. What adjustments you gonna make now that you couldn't make in round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10, round 11? Only adjustment you can make is robbing this motherfucker. Like they did Frankie Randall ass when he came to Julio Cesar Chavez. No dignity, bro. No dignity here, man, with this guy. None whatsoever. None. Shit sad, bro. Shit sad. But, you know, to each his own. You know, everybody gonna have their opinion on it. But for this guy, man, to sit up here and he did 2 major interviews, one major with Ariel Helwani, and then he did another interview on CBS Morning. He done, bro. And still the constant topic of conversation is still about Devin Haney. It's about Keyshawn ducking, boxing has passed Canelo Alvarez by. Boxing has passed him by. You know, and just because you the face, you know, people say, well, he was the face, because he ain't the face of boxing no more. Well, he ain't the face of boxing no more, right? Cool. But he was the face of boxing, was never pound for pound the number 1 fighter in the world. I ain't never seen nobody that had Canelo at the pound for pound at any point in his reign. Pound for pound number 1. Ooh. He was never better than Andre Ward, never better than, Terrence Crawford, never better than Alexander Usyk. And I guarantee you, they probably lost millions behind Canelo Alvarez. I guarantee you, they lost millions behind Canelo Alvarez. You know, if brothers fought each other and stopped ducking each other, bro, man, dude, we wouldn't have nothing to talk about, bro. There wouldn't be no Hector, no Maria talking boxing. None. But, you know, it is what it is. Salute all Ken. Yeah, I seen that. Shout out to them. Shout out to Hans. I see you. He said, I never let a white boy beat me. Devin Haney. Lord Combat God. Salute. So yeah, man. Let's talk about this. So Keyshawn and them. So Keyshawn and Devin, that really made real quick. This was really made the boxing schedule. That was really the only fight that was interesting that you had coming up. So, you know, continue to look at the boxing schedule real quick. You had you got some fights that, you know, one in Ireland, one on ESPN Plus, the ladies. You got Troy Williamson versus Callum Simpson 2. I didn't see the first one. You got Carissa Shields taking on Kay Scott in Atlanta. And I don't know nothing about Kay Scott. I think that's this Saturday or next Saturday. You got Serrano fighting on TikTok Live. That'll be interesting. You got Rolly and T.O. fighting August 22nd. They ain't selling no tickets. Michaela Mayer on ESPN Plus. I think my favorite fight so far is Atama versus Philip Hargovich. That's August 29th at the O2 Arena in the UK. Lester Martinez fighting on Pro Box. Katie Taylor, I thought she was retired. Ain't nothing good coming up, bro. Giovanni Santiago, that's the dude. That's the dude that Norman beat for his title. He fighting Barrasso. They fighting on Pro Box TV. Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben, September 12th. Trash. Eastside Cruz on Saturday night on the Zone. Probably gonna be on TNT too, or I don't know, maybe just on the Zone. Is showing. He's fighting Nestor Bravo. Jesus Ramos on the card. Ben Whitaker, Connor Wallace, October 3rd. This a nasty schedule. Ain't shit good coming up. Ain't shit good. Smith and Puello. Is that Liam Smith? Alvarez and Beatley. I think that'll be a good fight. October 31st. That's gonna be on Halloween in Saudi Arabia. Ooh, woo. Man, this schedule is UK or is internationally dominated. This nasty, bro. When Devin and Keyshawn didn't make that fight, or Devin and Ryan, or Devin and Shakur didn't, make that fight, bro. Oh, y'all can even see it. I'm sitting here talking. When they didn't make that fight, bro, it destroyed the boxing schedule. It destroyed the boxing schedule. When they didn't get in there and fight with each other, that destroyed the boxing schedule, bro. That destroyed it. It's nothing really good to look at. I'm scrolling through it on the screen now. There's nothing really to look forward to, bro. Can they afford to keep Keyshawn on the table? It's gonna be more fights announced through October, probably into September, October going forward. There are gonna be more fights to announce. So they're gonna be in that Canelo poster they got is fire for the Mbili fight. There'll be more fights announced, but right now, man, Davis and Haney and Davis was the premier fight. Davis and Haney was the premier fight. Now it's gone, bro. Now it's gone, man. That was the premier fight, man. And for the most part, you look at the schedule in boxing, man, ain't shit shaking but the leaves and the trees. Ain't shit shaking, but it is what it is. But getting to it, then you got let's move on. So then we got Canelo, we got Rolly and Conor being Rolly fighting Ryan Garcia. We got Conor being fighting Ryan Garcia, Rolly fighting Teofimo Lopez, and man, they ain't got no clout. You got Teofimo Lopez sitting there faking like he got injured to try to sell a fight. You got them sitting, him and Rolly talking about Devin Haney. Like they got nobody's talking about them, and they fighting August 22nd. Ryan and Conor being that he on WWE and Conor being doing interviews. That fight is irrelevant, bro. That fight is irrelevant. That fight is 100% irrelevant. They cannot sell any tickets, bro. Without them, using black people to sell tickets or whatever the situation, it is irrelevant. Nobody is talking about neither one of those fights. Nobody, and also the Zone is partnering with Paramount Plus for Ryan and Conor Ben. Nobody's talking about those. There's so many Rolly and T.O. fight tickets left. Nobody's talking about it. The talk of the town has been Devin Haney since July, going into August, then Keyshawn ducking. Nobody's talking about these guys actually fighting, and these are the same guys that they're investing millions and millions of dollars in, and the numbers don't add up. The numbers don't add up. Tell me I'm lying. The numbers don't add up. The numbers don't add up. You spent all this money giving this to Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia, and ain't nobody talking about that fight. Nobody is talking about them fight. Nobody talking about Rolly. T.O. wore a monkey mask trying to race bait and all that type of stuff. And nobody is still talking about these fights. They talking about Devin Haney and people ducking Devin Haney. But these the same people that want to turn around and tell you that, oh, black fighters don't sell. Ryan don't sell without a Negro. Ryan don't sell without a Negro. Conor Ben ain't never sold nowhere in the UK. And it's I heard allegedly that Ryan Garcia, Canelo stepped off to Ryan Garcia off the Mexican Independence Day to give it to Ryan Garcia for this fight. It may be because, Ryan was already in gonna be fighting in America, and Canelo had to fight in Saudi Arabia. So, he gonna do it on Halloween. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's talking about these fights. These guys not selling tickets. They're not moving units. And when Ryan Garcia, struck out, versus Mario Barrios. Nobody in the media pushed the narrative, not even pushed the narrative, talked about the fact that Ryan Garcia and Barrios flopped, and they were selling tickets half off. Nobody spoke upon the fact that fight flopped. Nobody spoke on that Ryan Roley and T.O. ain't selling no tickets and it's flopping. Nobody's gonna complain about losing money on Roley and T.O. Nobody's gonna talk about losing money on Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. I told y'all a lot of this shit just boiled down to trying to just keep the black man down, keep the black fighter down, and the black fighter doing it instead of going to get y'all chilly fighting each other and showing that y'all can sell. And y'all bring the salsa to the fucking table. You know, y'all don't sit here and point out and say, look, Roley and old buddy ain't selling. Roley and T.O. ain't selling. Y'all point to the fact that Ryan and Barrios flopped and Conor and Ryan will flop. Y'all need to be pointing that shit out. But instead, y'all too busy bickering and hating on each other to point out the fact that these dudes is flopping. And they gave Tia Female a fucking DAZN network deal based on what merit? Based on racism, based on wearing a monkey hat, based on getting washed by Shakur Stevenson. If Shakur got washed, no, fuck that whole ass nigga. But if, you know, let's just say Devin got washed by T.O. the way Shakur washed T.O., they were saying Devin would need to retire. Devin don't need to be in the sport of boxing. Devin need to get his CDLs. That's what would be the narrative. That's what would be the narrative. Ryan and Pop Top blew off the weight for the Devin fight. Then said, fuck the sanction of bell bodies. Belts don't matter. Ticket sales down the drain. And they don't talk, and they keep throwing money towards them. Why don't they invest that money into the actual talent in boxing? That's my question. If they take this same effort that they try to force and make guys like Ryan and Conor a star, and if they took that same effort and that same capital and that same bag and put it behind a fighter that really had the talent, you know, we'd be having a different conversation. But they won't report and say, oh, this fight was a flop. Oh, this fight didn't sell. You never hear them talking about their gate numbers. It's always black folk. This fight didn't sell. And this, that, and third. Only reason they ain't talking about Boots and Xander flopping at the box office because Xander was in it. That whole myth that Hispanic sell and all this shit, bullshit. They didn't flop harder than any other fighter this year. They didn't have more flops. They didn't have the most flops this year. And if Canelo was such a financial darling, why you keep jumping to each and every company then? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Why you gotta jump to each and every company if he like that? Because everybody losing fucking money on him, and then they want him to fight somebody, and when it's time to fight somebody, he refused to fight somebody. And that's the honest truth. The minute they say, okay, we gave you these free fights, these little cheap ass fights, you got to fight somebody. The difference with this Turkey deal is he had to fight Bud, so he got to get some soft touches on the front, which he really lost that William Skull fight, and he got to get some soft touches on the back end. That's the difference. So, you know, more of the brothers that create content, they need to speak on this, man. They need to speak on the fact that they don't talk about when these dudes don't sell tickets. They don't talk about when these dudes don't do well at the box office, when they pay-per-view flop. You know, Ryan and Barrios, I heard that shit was a boring ass fight. They don't talk about it. They try so hard to keep, you know, the Cuban fighters down, the Black American fighters down. They try to discourage them from boxing. Okay, shit, get Hector tonight, like on some George Benson shit. Just give me the night. We get Hector tonight. It's boring. It's fucking boring. They get prime real estate. They get prime options. You know, they get prime opportunity, and it's boring. Fight got no swag. The fight week got no swag to it. They doing all this promote, niggas on WWE, niggas interviewing each other, hating on other fighters. And what's the topic of conversation? Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. Come on now. Those are the topics of conversation, not Hector. They trying to do everything they trying to do, sell their individual fights, and don't nobody care, bro. Truth be told, don't nobody care. Sad. It's really, really sad, bro. But ain't nobody gonna ask the right questions. Why is the zone throwing money? Why is the zone? Now, if Devin Haney said white boy came with me, they want an apology. T.O. ain't getting no real apology to the black community, not at all. And the zone gifted him. You know, the Paramount and the zone keep gifting Ryan Garcia. They keep saying he a star. The numbers don't translate. Because if he really a star, what he had to go over there and get some motion from Dean the Great and Adrian Broner. Come on. That's the $1 million question. Why you got to go to WWE? And then Ryan Garcia subs, they don't even transfer over to pay-per-view buyers or even boxing watchers. They don't. That's the crazy thing about it. His shit don't even translate. But they'll never bring up the fact when Hector flopped. They never bring it up. I'm telling you. They never bring up the fact when Hector tickets is buy one, get one free. When Hector tickets is half off. They never bring that up, bro. But they'll tell you so much how this black fighter don't sell and he got to work to get a network deal. Or if he lose the way T.O. lost, he need to get his CDLs. He need to retire. Blase this, blase that. You hear it all the time. It's just discouragement. I don't understand it. They'd rather sit here perpetrating like Hector go diamond in the motherfucking boxing hood and Hector flippity flopping like it's hot. Don't want nobody bring that shit up. All these people bring up is propaganda. Only time you get the truth is, you know, from motherfuckers is when Keyshawn and Shakur is blatantly doing it. You know how hard it is for a lot of these dudes to admit that Devin Haney is that nigga right now. All these niggas don't want to admit that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? It's soft as they soft shoeing Devin, they soft shoeing Keyshawn. They would go 1,000 times more harder if Devin was the one that dropped that belt. They would be going 1,000 times more harder at Devin Haney. Keep that in mind. Ain't nobody go hard. And yeah, nobody went hard on Virgil. Virgil ain't sold nothing. They never say, well, Virgil don't deserve this. Look at Virgil. No. Virgil had one of the nastiest ducks of the year. Canelo been having some of the nastiest ducks in boxing history. Some of the most filthiest ducks in boxing history. But they get passes like that. They always asking you, the melanated person, brother, to do what they won't do. So when you coming up, you need an opportunity. You like, man, we both coming up. We could benefit fighting each other. Nah. But the minute you get motion like Boost got motion, all of a sudden he obligated to fight Virgil Ortiz. There's an obligation there. You don't owe Hector shit. And the minute you get up on these networks, man, make them fucking pay you above top dollar, because they do everything in their power to stop black fighters from rising. In this sport, they do everything in their power. They literally do everything in their power to stop black fighters from rising. So when you get to that table and you can demand what you want to demand, you need to get all the chili that you deserve and some. Because this system, these networks like the Zone, you know what I'm saying? You know, they cut ties with Tank, but not cut ties with Teofimo Lopez. Not cut ties with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia been accused of a lot of the same fucking worse shit than Tank been accused of. Come on. You know, in America, they made the black face the face of criminality. You believe those numbers? when Brad going around and chopping this bitch up into a quarter, like a quarter chicken, cutting the whole chicken up into a quarter chicken, get out of here, man. Go on vacation with Brad or Becky, you might not be coming back. So, yeah, man, this shit crazy, man. This shit real crazy out here, man. Let's keep it moving, bro. He said, facts. They swept that Ryan shit up in the rug, and they rewarded him. They rewarded Ryan Garcia. That's a fact, and they rewarded him for that shit. He got rewarded for being a racist. He got rewarded for it, but let's move on. So I was listening to Bruce Vane. He had an interesting video, and he basically said that one of the reasons why guys like Shakur Stevenson and Javonte Davis can move the way they move is because nobody tell them the truth. Everybody kissed their ass in the media, and now you had Garfield the coke sniffing the cat. When he out here telling he telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy him to tell the truth on Shakur Stevenson because he's on the zone. And Shakur Stevenson is on Zuffer now, so he can unload on Shakur Stevenson because he ain't part of the company. So part of him like being blunt and being honest about Shakur Stevenson is from the standpoint of it's from the standpoint of now he on the wrong side of the street. Now, I can really bark my shit about the nigga now. You know what I mean? So, he had a comment where he basically said that he had a comment where he said that what did the brother say? He said that I lost my train of thought. But my bad. I'm trying to multitask these pictures. But in general, he ended up Shakur. I'm tired as hell. But where I was at with this shit. But yeah, he had a comment about Tyson Fury and saying Fury beat Muhammad Ali. You seen it in the intro, and they checked him on him and shit, right? But the problem with it is this: when they go around saying Tank's a great fighter, Shakur's a great fighter, these guys are great fighters, they ain't got to prove it. If the OGs is in here telling me that I'm good and I'm great, I'm one of the best they ever seen do it, then what do I got to prove? And it's just that it's not a lot of honesty in boxing. It's hard to be honest. Because if Floyd say something, if Roy say something, if Andre Ward say something, it hold a lot of weight. It can shift the pendulum of a young fighter's career. And you can really think about that shit with Devin Haney when Devin Haney lost and Floyd, was sitting there kikiing with Ryan Garcia and allegedly was helping Ryan beat Devin Haney. That also helped fuel the Devin Haney hate train. So when these dudes get involved, when they get involved, it's and I think they try to just be diplomatic about it. And they try to stay neutral, and that's why 50-50 is one of the most misused terms, one of the most lying terms. They call a lot of these fights 50-50 fights when they're not 50-50 fights. They just say that to stay neutral because they don't want to make nobody mad. Because remember when Roy Jones, told the truth about Crawford and Errol Spence, and Errol Spence got into his feelings. He stopped talking to Roy because of Roy's opinion. That's what you're dealing with. Social media makes the male ego a lot more fragile. It makes the male ego a lot more fragile. So you got to remember that. So when these dudes sit here and they say Shakur is the greatest and he got great defense and I don't see nobody beat Shakur, he a superstar. And Shakur, hey man, I got the validation of the OGs. I ain't got to prove shit. What's there to prove? I got the lineal titles. I got the belts. I don't have nothing to prove. And I got the 8 figures, nigga. And the OGs fuck with me. They say I'm great. Even when they tell him, oh, you should have did this, you should have did. I ain't gotta listen to you niggas. I ain't gotta listen to y'all. You already told me I'm already great. And in his mind, that overrated ego, that overrated resume, it make him live like he on that level. And not telling the truth in the media, which I understand why you don't tell the truth. Because these dudes can't handle the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for a lot of them dudes when they come to a guy like Devin Haney, it's easy for them not to tell the truth. Because he not affiliated to Top Rank. He not affiliated to a network for real. He with the Zone, but if the Zone really with Devin Haney, no. They not really with Devin Haney in the capacity that you would think. It's just business. Because if they fuck with Devin Haney, they would have believed in him enough and helped him get that George Kambosos fight, a better contract or a better deal with that George Kambosos fight. They don't fuck with him. It's just business for them. Right now, they looking to having to throw so many pay-per-views on there. They need people to buy views. So it's advantageous for the Zone to work with Devin Haney. It's nothing more simple than that. They don't give a fuck about Devin Haney. But when these OGs sitting here lying and not, telling these guys the truth, this is the downside of it. Now, don't nobody feel like they got to prove themselves. And it's a bunch of lies in the media, and a lot of the media members got a lot to keep getting credentials. They got a lot to get credentialed. If they tell the truth, guess what? They get their credential stripped from them. And that's the unfortunate, ugly truth. So when you got these OGs sitting here telling these guys they great and you the best, you ain't got to do this, and not saying that he need to do this, that, and the third, it's a wrap. Where's the pressure gonna come from for these dudes to fight? I got the money, regardless of the attendance. I got the money. I got the hardware. I don't have to fight. I don't have to fight. And then, just as, people don't tell the truth about Triple G career, and you don't see people tell the unadulterated truth about Canelo career. If you listen to a lot of these dudes, Andre Ward to sit there and tell the truth about Canelo and Triple G, but he one of the few. You listen to them, you'll think these motherfuckers was really Hall of Fame worthy when they were not. When they were not Hall of Fame worthy, bro. Ain't nobody really telling the truth in his boxing internet shit. Only a handful of niggas tell the truth. And then you got a lot of people. You want to know how a motherfucker you could tell a motherfucker real is because he ain't getting mad at niggas for their opinions. A lot of these niggas get mad because you got an opinion. And they only get mad because the opinion is a fact. That's the only reason they get mad, because the opinion is a fact. So it really don't matter. You really can't tell the truth about nobody in this space. They're gonna want to vilify you, turn you into the bad guy. They can say what they want to say, but what I said about Boo's resume, you can't deny it. Can't deny it. Can't deny it. Don't nobody feel like they gotta earn shit around there. Everybody lying to them. They entitled. They able to be entitled. They handed titles. They handed money. They make mistake over and over again. Be honest with you. When Ryan popped hot, did you feel like it was enough vitriol to warrant the punishment, warrant the vitriol that came? No. Everybody soft shooting. Now some people were saying that they soft shooted because they was on steroids. That's why a lot of people couldn't speak on it, because they was on steroids. And that may be true. But it seemed like even these OGs seemed like they had a lot of malice towards Devin Haney. I remember when, Floyd Mayweather was fighting Manny Pacquiao. And a lot of these black people that was in boxing or on the outside, they blamed Floyd Mayweather. They were upset that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't fight Pacquiao when everybody had a strong belief that Pacquiao had a huge competitive advantage. They were blaming Floyd Mayweather for not getting into a gunfight with a fucking knife. I remember it. But had it been the other way around and Floyd Mayweather had the motherfucking Ped Yappa, they would have been talking over Floyd need to test. Dude, it's a lot of self-hatred within this space. It's a lot of self-hatred within this space. It really is. It's a lot of self-hatred within this space. You'll see, people like Shakur Stevenson sit here and praise Lomachenko. You will sit there and praise they'll sit there and praise, Lomachenko. They'll sit there and praise, Tyson Fury and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? They'll sit here and praise them niggas, man, but won't have no real praise for their active brothers or other fighters. None whatsoever. But these dudes not really speaking the truth on a consistent basis. I get why they don't do it. I get it. Because their opinion holds so much weight as Hall of Famers. It holds so much weight as Hall of Famers. I definitely understand it. But them lying, telling these guys great and not pushing these guys to fight the best. And you got, Andre Darrell talking about, well, Keyshawn didn't duck, and get out of here, man. But when Bill go on their platform, when on Ward platform, and said that Shakur easy work, Andre was like, no, okay. If he ain't easy work, why didn't Shakur take the fight? It the loudness for Shakur to fight Devin Haney, the roar wasn't loud enough. They put a camera in Crawford's face. He's talking about he great. I'm assuming that this was recorded after all of this happened. If it was recorded before all this happened months before, my apologies. But at the end of the day, how can you call a motherfucker great when he won't even take a fight? He won't even take the fight with Devin Haney. And then two niggas that came up under Crawford ring wouldn't take the fight. And maybe behind the scenes, they tell these dudes the truth off the record. But obviously, it ain't happening. But then you go here, and this make a lot of sense right here. So this is somebody put this out here. So somebody sent it to me early this morning or last night. It said I can't pronounce that. Oh, Unico Alfredo Rivero. I don't know, man. It was supposed to translate. It ain't translate. It translated early, so it ain't translating on my end. For whatever reason, hold on. It ain't, but it translated. I translated it. Hold on. I don't know why they working, but hold on, give me a minute. I translated it. So it says Shakur, father was Puerto Rican. His name was Alfredo Rivera, and thanks to him, the American champion developed a very special connection with Puerto Rico. For that reason, every time he steps in the ring, he wears the Puerto Rican flag on his clothes in a way to honor his roots. Although Rivera, his father, passed away, I think did not participate in the raising Shakur and passed away in 2019. The boxer made it clear that he never lost pride in his Puerto Rico heritage. Despite not having a close relationship with his father, Stevenson claimed he inherited the bond to the island from him. In several occasions, he's expressed his love for Puerto Rico, even confessed that one of his biggest dreams is to fight there one day in front of a Boricua audience and make him feel at home. So, like I said, man, this make a lot of sense, bro. It make a lot of sense. Nigga got father issues, daddy issues, like a little 17-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? And then he seemed to have this disdain towards black people in boxing. And it's the same dude that was on Fight Hype talking about how black people was treated in boxing. Same situation. And the reason he ain't got his dad last name because he wasn't in his life. And it shows in his character. And do they claim Shakur Stevenson? You got to ask them. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you one thing about this generation. They want to be everything but black. When a lot of these Africans come over here, they got Nigeria in their flag. They got Ghana in their flag, but if they start giving niggas money, all of a sudden, I'm black. Everybody want to be everything but black, but everybody want to say nigga. Everybody want to act like they in the trenches. Everybody want to act like they got responsibility in creating hip hop. All that shit. If they start giving, I say this all the time. If they start giving out reparations checks. Right? If they start giving out reparations checks, guess who gonna be in line? Oh, I deserve one. Come on, man. Let's keep it moving, though. Let's go. Let's move on with this Tim Bradley shit, right? So I want to play this clip.
I'm not gonna lie, straight up, and I've told Mr. Haney, and I told Haney that. That's where my frustration came from. I'm like,
hold on real quick.
I'm not gonna lie. Straight up. And I've told Mr. Haney and I told Haney that. That's where my frustration came from. I'm like, lawsuit, what? Battery, what? What we doing? Why we pull back the lawsuit? I thought y'all wanted to change so I went on through all of that. Okay? All he had to do was rematch. That's it. Right? And he has yet to do that. He has yet to do that. He gonna have to do that. And then now we just hear that Ryan Garcia said that he's not gonna do the rematch. I'm like, come on, dog. Like, what we doing, man? This, what is this sport turn into? It's straight up prima donna. This is straight up terrible. It's horrible for the sport, man. This generation right here, man, gotta be the most softest, dumbest, stupidest, most. I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with y'all, bro. Y'all divas. All of y'all straight divas, man. For real. Damn, I wish I was in this generation, man. I swear I wish I was in this generation. I wish I was about 15 years younger, man. Oh, I wish I was 15 years younger. Damn. Because y'all just soft, bro. Seriously. Make the fight happen for the fans, bro. Make it happen for the fans.
All right, so I don't know if he up to date, but the reason why they filed the lawsuit was because Ryan Garcia refused to do the rematch. So I don't think he understands that. That's why the lawsuit was filed, was for him to do the rematch. And when Ryan agreed to do the rematch, they dropped the lawsuit. I don't see no issue with suing for battery. I don't see no issue. I lost. I got cheated with steroids. They took $1 million from Ryan Garcia and gave it back to his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. On top of that, I was cheated. I didn't get my... No, we're not going to talk about a motherfucker that cheated. You just notice how they gloss over the fact that the dude cheated? Do y'all notice how they just gloss over that fact that Ryan cheated? And it's like, oh, he cheated. It is what it is. It doesn't matter that Ryan Garcia cheated. Who cares? Who cares? He cheated. I didn't like the way he sued. So you didn't like because he sued him. So yo anger for this whole situation, right? So Devin made weight, Ryan didn't. Ryan popped hot, Devin turned out clean. And you, out of all this whole shit that happened in this whole fight, the one thing you mad at is Devin suing him. You're not mad at him for popping hot. You're not. How you mad at me because a motherfucker cheated me and I didn't benefit from no way. I didn't get a rematch. I didn't get no money out of it. That hurt didn't even get paid. So they took $1 million from Ryan, the New York State Athletic Commission, and gave it to Oscar De La Hoya. For what? For what? I mean, that's my thing. Like, how are you mad at Devin Haney? I got cheated. I stepped in a ring with a guy who popped hot, and I didn't know he popped hot till after the fight, and I didn't get much money for the fight to begin with. And the money that I could have got, the $1 million I could have got, they took it from Ryan and gave it back to his promoter. And at the end of the day, out of all the people in this situation you mad at me? You mad at me for suing because a guy juiced versus me. Just look how sick motherfuckers is in boxing. And then duck the rematch. And then nobody talks about he didn't fight the case with New York State Athletic Commission. He admitted it and paid $1 million. If I didn't cheat, I'm not about to hand you $1 million. I'm gonna fight and prove my innocence. He didn't fight to prove his innocence. He didn't sit here and say, well, Ryan blamed it on this supplement. He blamed it on that supplement. He blamed it on Bill Haney. He blamed it on Victor Conti. And the fact of the matter is this: the hate for Devin Haney from Tim Bradley, the hate from Devin Haney from everybody else, it started long before he fought Ryan Garcia. That's what I want to talk about. It started long before that whole Ryan Garcia thing. Because the thing about it is, he was a victim, and he was a victim. He was a victim in that. He was a victim. And y'all treated him like he was the offender. Y'all treated him like he was the Hector criminal. Whether it was, only person that kind of was neutral was kind of like Shakur. It was kind of like, yeah, Devin. But everybody else, Tank threw him under the bus. Tim Bradley was throwing him under the bus. And when it was proved that Ryan really popped hot, ain't nobody come back and apologize to Devin Haney. Ain't nobody come out there and they disrespect their apologies wasn't as loud as they disrespect. Just like this Keyshawn Davis situation. If Devin Haney would have did what Keyshawn did and dropped his belt, even if he would to go and fight Shakur, they would be ripping Devin Haney to shreds. All these black people in the black box community, bro, they didn't give Ryan Garcia 1% of the disdain they gave for Big Baby when he popped hot. They don't say nothing about Eddie Renasso, Ryan being affiliated with all them juices up. They don't say nothing. When it come to Hector not selling fights, when it come to Hector popping hot, they quiet as a church mouse. And out of all that whole situation, you got mad at Devin for suing. Why not? Boxing ain't stopping these paid offenders. Big popped hot. He never was stripped of his IBF belt or the WBO belt, whatever one it was. I think it was the WBO. And then they debuted him at number 2 in the 168 pound division. So where's the punishment for popping hot? So at some point, you have to take the punishment into your own hand. You got to be a fucking vigilante. And the reason Devin sued was to get the rematch and dropped the lawsuit, and Ryan still finessed out the rematch. Still refused to get in drug testing. Okay, where's these same people that said Devin was weak for this shit? Where y'all at? But then when you ask other people about fighting Ryan, Keyshawn, got to be a lot of testing. Shakur, it got to be a lot of testing. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. These black people in boxing don't have no code, man. These niggas ain't nothing but Hector guzzlers. All these motherfuckers is Hector guzzlers. They say this lie that Hector only bought tickets. Hector fights. Hector ain't sold the fight. They probably lost hundreds of millions on Canelo. Canelo ain't turned no profit, though. That's one of the biggest propagandas out there. Canelo ain't turned no profit like they make it seem like Canelo turned a profit, bro. On me, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all. This is where the OGs turn they motherfucking turn up at. When they come to Devin Haney, they mad at Devin Haney. But when they come to get mad at Keyshawn, they ain't going hard on Keyshawn like that, bro, like they should be. They ain't go hard on Shakur for ducking that fight because they could be. And it could be because of the relationship with Top Rank, Jay Prince. This disrespect ain't loud enough that they should be getting. I told y'all, when you just talking about the boxing community, ain't no objectivity. There's relationships. There's all like this fighter. We cool with this fighter. When it comes to black fighters, I'm telling you, if you take 100 motherfucking black people, let's just say you take 25 black people within the boxing space, bro, you might get one real motherfucker. For every 25 motherfuckers in this shit, it's one real motherfucker. And then you're gonna have a few in there that you think real, that think cool, that's really motherfucking in disguise. Real talk, it's only a handful of real fucking boxing channels. And it's crazy how Devin Haney became the criminal and Ryan Garcia popping hot. There was more people defending Ryan Garcia than Devin Haney. They believe Ryan Garcia. Oh, Bill Haney did this. Bill Haney he went to Vada, and he was with Victor Conte. So was fucking Ryan Garcia with Snack at one point. You won't see niggas like Timothy Bradley speak on Eddie Renasso and all the motherfuckers he popped hot. You won't see Roy and Andre Ward speak on that shit neither. You won't see them niggas speak on that shit, bro. You won't see it. Ain't too many real motherfuckers in the space. Ain't too many real motherfuckers in the space. These niggas ain't gonna say nothing, bro. But they don't have no problem speaking on another black fighter. They have no problem doing it. Oh, he wasn't that good, or he don't, man, fuck out of here, man. Look at Tank. He ain't got nothing good to say about another black fighter. And even if he do start off with something good to say about a black fighter, One thing about Tank, he gonna turn on that nigga as soon as that dude get more emotion than him. He gonna turn on him every time. Turn on him and never had the intentions on fighting him. So if you want to sit there and say, well, the Devin Haney hate started at the Ryan Garcia fight, you a fat Faison liar. That's a lie. You a lie, and a motherfucking truth ain't in you. And we all know that. Y'all sit here and praise Lomachenko. This bitch ass nigga lost to Devin Haney. He in the back crying like a $2 hoe who motherfucking John ran off with her fucking money for the night. She got to go see Slick Back Pimp Willie. Come on now. He back there crying. This motherfucker lost to Orlando Salido. This motherfucker did the same shit that Canelo tried to do to Crawford with Rigondeaux. This motherfucker lost to Teofimo Lopez. What are we talking about? He lost to Teofimo Lopez. But then somehow he's still deemed to be great. He can lose and still be a great fighter. This motherfucker ducked the fade, bruh. They was going to war in the Ukraine and he ran off. And Ivan Barashnik had to call him out for running off. Ain't nobody talk bad about ain't nobody had nothing bad to say about him. It's like this unspoken rule publicly that y'all can't say nothing about motherfucking Brad and Hector. But y'all talk about Carissa Shields like a motherfucking dog. I don't get it. But if you're gonna sit there and lie and say to Devin Haney, that's why I don't like Devin. No, you didn't like Devin Haney way before that shit happened. How is you as a boxer that's in a Hall of Famer at this point? How are you a Hall of Famer and you upset because a fucking juicing ass Hector who been affiliated with several juicing ass Hector getting sued? You should be celebrating Devin Haney. That's progressive. Because guess what? These promoters ain't being progressive about supporting these drug cheats. These networks ain't being progressive about supporting about not supporting these drug cheats. Excuse my mistalks. So where do we draw the line at pet offenders for? Where do we draw the line at? If the networks are still gonna sign Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben and get him a boatload of money, if Canelo can still come back and get $100 million, what's gonna stop anybody else from juicing? If Jarrell Miller can come back and still make a living after having like 70,000 steroids up his ass allegedly, where do we set the precedent for people to stop juicing at? But then when it came to Ryan and Devin, steroids don't really help you that much. It don't. Okay, cool. But then when a lot of these dudes start being affiliated with fighting Ryan Garcia, it got to be a lot of testing. It got to be a lot of testing. Yeah, we got to do a lot of testing. Nigga, what? When it was Devin Haney, it was, nigga, the steroids.
Truthfully, yeah, it can happen. I just think it got to be at a reasonable weight. And I don't want no, like, rehydration clause. I don't want nothing that's going to take away from me actually beating him. So he could come in. Long as he make the actual weight, I'll be with it. But it's going to have to be a lot of testing. It's going to have to be like some real testing. And I'm with it. Like, let's make it happen there.
The rehydration clause, that's some bullshit?
Yeah, I think.
Come on. When it comes to them, it got to be a lot of testing. It got to be a lot. But when it was Devin Haney, steroids don't matter. Skills pay the bills. I'm telling y'all, man, then y'all be talking about mixed martial arts, UFC, how the tethers and the coons. Man, boxing is right there with them, stride for stride. Buffooning and Butter Biscuit eating it up, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. They make up shit. Oh, yeah, they hate Devin Haney. Nah, nigga, Devin Haney was getting all the. Then you got Jorge Linares, who still fucking hating on some shit, man. Bitch, eat a dick. This nigga been stopped more than a fucking bus going down 8 Mile. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is, bro. I mean, believe what y'all want to believe. But I kind of addressed a couple comments, but nobody want to keep it a bean in this bitch, dog. These niggas be lying. He said Puerto Ricans ain't nothing but Spanish talking niggas. Want to be niggas until it's time to be niggas. Shakur need to stop saying nigga then. I agree. He said, "What to do, my guy? Layered Productions." He says, "See what Bob say to Dan Raphael, the Keyshawn fight. Bob still offered him 3 again after the. Oh, he did. Hey, send that to me. He said Bob offered him 3 again. So I mean, I told y'all he didn't want to fight. They said he wanted 5 million after everything came out. Black delegation would like to trade Shakur for Cotto. He said Devin Haney is young, black, rich, and he has a father that cut for him. That's a lot of hate. Yeah, a lot of these niggas hate. All of these niggas that hate, hot shit through the gate. He said Haney dropped the lawsuit to get the rematch, peanut head, and he did, and he still didn't get the rematch. Tim got to know the words that he's saying is BS. I mean, all these niggas, man. Shout out to New Fat Boy Fitness. All these niggas, man. These niggas, you can't trust these niggas, man. That's why when I cut into that nigga, and I say you doing all this, buffooning and cooning on your channel and talking about, you want to work for yourself, and then what he do? He jumped right back on TNT. He jumped right back on TNT. He see Ryan talking about Haney got to tell the truth to convert the Christian. Man, get out of here, man. Ryan ain't no Christian, man. Ryan cheated and ducking a rematch because he know he can't win. Yeah, and he got to take a drug test. They ain't testing them niggas right now. He said you got to remember a black man in America is not supposed to get justice, especially in court facts. He said you in Michigan, you don't know about boxing. Keyshawn win. Man, Keyshawn, man, I'm not about to fucking entertain that. It's like, I'm not even going to entertain that comment. He said it's because they don't have fans. Dev just got haters. It's a Floyd effect. He said if we being honest, Jerron put a whole, man, I don't give a hell about no goddamn Jerron, no fucking Pennsylvania. Man, go make a motherfucking car battery or some shit. go make us the fucking rims that go in our fucking cars. The black man, I don't know how you could be racist or be on the racist drug cheat side. Look at a lot of black fighters media YouTube in a different way after that. Yeah, yup. Already. He said Tank said Devin wouldn't be in boxing because he shouldn't be in boxing because he got a dad. I mean, shit, no father figure. You got a partner, nigga. But let me get up out of here. Appreciate. Hold on, I ain't about to hear that. I appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share it.
If I was talking, if your dad was out here talking like I'm talking, I'd tell my son to fuck you up too.